Friends, we all know the story of 2020, how the swamp in broad daylight stole the election from the one man who could actually fix it. They slandered him, censored him, and ultimately they tried to silence him. But they failed to understand one fundamental truth. You can't silence the will of the American people. This is the story of how President Trump not only defied the odds, but how he proved once again that the American spirit is alive and well. The year is 2021, the swamp is emboldened, they've tasted blood and they want more. They impeached him again, even though he wasn't even in office. Can you believe the audacity? They're terrified of this man, of his connection with you, the American people, and they should be. They came after him with everything they had. The fake news media, big tech, the whole corrupt establishment was weaponized against him. They went after his family, his friends, anyone who dared to stand with him. They tried to bury him with endless investigations, phony charges, anything to keep him off the ballot box. But they underestimated him. They underestimated the movement, the millions of Americans who believed in his vision for America. You see, they can't silence all of us. Silenced by the tech giants, banished from social media, President Trump did something that truly terrified the elites. He went old school. Rallies, town halls, meet and greets. He was back on the road and America was listening. Every state he visited, every speech he gave was a direct challenge to the status quo. He was a man on a mission, not just to clear his name, but to expose the rot at the heart of our institutions. And the people responded. They came out in droves, hungry for the truth, starved for a leader who spoke to their concerns, a leader who wasn't afraid to fight for them. The media tried to ignore it, to write it off as a farewell tour, but they couldn't hide the truth. President Trump was building something powerful, something that scared them to their core. By 2023, it was clear. The Biden administration was a disaster. Inflation was soaring, gas prices were through the roof, and crime was rampant in our once great cities. Our enemies smelled weakness. China made its move on Taiwan, emboldened by the feeble response from the White House. Our allies no longer trusted us, and our adversaries no longer feared us. The American dream was crumbling, and the people knew it. They longed for the days of American strength, of American prosperity, of America first. With the country on the brink, a groundswell of support urged President Trump to run again. He knew the challenges, the viciousness of the swamp, but he also knew one thing: he couldn't let his country down. This wasn't about him, he said. It was about us. It was about taking back our country from the radical left who were hell-bent on destroying it. He announced his candidacy, and the energy was palpable. This wasn't just a campaign, it was a movement, a tidal wave of patriotism sweeping across the nation. The media went into overdrive, churning out the same old lies, the same tired smears. They called him a threat to democracy, a dictator, anything to discredit him. But the people weren't buying it. They saw through the propaganda. They knew the truth. They knew who was really fighting for them. Election night 2024. The tension was thicker than fog. But as the results came in, one by one, a familiar map began to emerge. The silent majority had spoken. They had rejected the radical agenda of the left and embraced the America First vision of Donald J. Trump. President Trump's victory sent shockwaves through the country, through the world. The swamp was in shambles, their power structure shattered, but for the American people, it was a moment of jubilation, a victory for common sense, a victory for patriotism, a victory for America. They tried to bury him, folks, they really did. They threw everything they had at him, but they just couldn't keep a good man down. President Trump proved that in America, the will of the people still matters. He showed that even in the face of overwhelming odds, even when the entire system is rigged against you, the truth will prevail. But this is just the beginning. The fight to take back our country, to restore America to its former glory, is far from over.